Welcome. I'm very pleased to have Elizabeth Flanagan, Santa Barbara visual artist, here for an artist talk and to learn about her journey as an artist. So thank you for being a part of this evening.
Thank you for inviting me, Jan. I'm thrilled to be part of Santa Barbara Visual Artists and part of the Legacy Gallery here on State Street, right near the Granadas. So this is exciting.
This is the third Friday for November 17th. We're having a huge reception with musicians. We have Marco Alejandro, that's a Spanish guitarist. So whenever you are here for third Friday or first Thursday, please stop in for the reception. We're having most of the artists here for Meet the Artists, and so Elizabeth has agreed to do this artist talk this evening. We are open Wednesday through Sunday, 3 to 8 p.m. every week. Please take time to come into this beautiful exhibition that we have and take time to enjoy the art. I just have the first lead question for you, Elizabeth. How did you come to be an artist?
That's a great question. My journey to being an artist, it came late in life. And I actually was doing some healing work around some childhood grief, loss that had happened that I'd never fully expressed. And I was in a workshop, a visions retreat at a center here in Santa Barbara. And they had a 1-hour session on art. And I remember thinking, oh, what are they going to teach me in an hour? But what happened is it opened up the door to express my feelings, and that grief ended up on the page. And people reacted to it and commented. It was very powerful. And I didn't understand how that had happened, because it's magical. And so from then on, I took art into my life because I knew it would help me heal. And then it's just been a journey since then of learning and growing and showing and meeting other artists and being influenced. So.
It is a journey that of growth and expansion, but also expression of what we see, feel as artists ourselves.
And a healing journey too.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to heal.
Yes. So tell me about this piece that you've got showing at the Legacy Gallery.
Well, this is called Poet Laureate. I've subtitled it Poet Laureate in green because I've done another one that was in red and it's sold down the street at Gallery 113. And the Poet Laureate is Amanda Gorman, the young poet who read that beautiful poem at President Biden's inauguration. And I was like, mouth open, gobsmacked at her brilliance. And she was so young and so beautiful. She had a red hat on and a yellow coat. And I'm an artist, so that visually just got my attention right off the bat. And then her words was profound.
It was.
And I got one of the books. A friend gave me a gift of, it's The Hill We Climb. And I would read that every morning while I meditated and prayed. And also very healing. It's about healing and coming together and, you know, working together to have our government work. So I have been very inspired by her, and I have done a series of portraits on Amanda Gorman. Yeah.
Your artwork, when people come into the gallery, always they're drawn to your bright colors. Do you want to make a comment about that? What the choices that you make as an artist?
That's a great question. Thank you, Jan. When I was 10 years old, I grew up in New York City, in Manhattan, and went to Catholic school. And the nuns gave us, every year, we'd get a series of cards with famous art images on them. And we did Goya and Velázquez and the Dutch masters. And then in the 5th grade, when I was 10, I got Starry Night. And I'd never seen anything like that, and it shocked me. And it was actually the first visceral reaction I ever had to art. My stomach lurched, and I couldn't understand it because it was different, and it was turbulent, and it was brilliant, and it scared me and it excited me at the same time. And then on the back of it, it gave a little bio of Van Gogh, and it talked about him being in an institution, and that scared me too. But the thing is, it drew me. And I think my art has been influenced. That's my favorite piece of art by my favorite artist, is Starry Night by Van Gogh. And I love all his art, and he has those bright, vibrant colors and swirling.
You have that here on one of the prints?
I have, oh, thank you, yeah. So my bright colors, I think, got implanted then, that it has an impact when you have bright colors and swirling forms. So I've also painted Van Gogh. He's one of my heroes. So this is Van Gogh with a straw hat and blue eyes. And it's from one of his portraits. So I just love his beard. I love he's intense.
His story is
his story, and he suffered, you know, and of course I'm drawn to that as a human being, because if you've been through some things in life, you're drawn to other people, and he was creative with it. So anyway, that's what I think the bright colors are that. And yeah.
You and I have been on Artsy out of New York City. It's a website for 3 years.
Yes.
And because of that, you were recognized for your art, especially with strong women in your life. Do you want to comment on that?
Right. I was very drawn to, I have a very Catholic background. I grew up with a lot of icons and images and very Irish Catholic background. So in New York City. So, you know, that influences you subconsciously. Even if you think you've moved away from it, it's there. So I got very drawn to Mary Magdalene at a certain point. In 2009, I went to Paris, and there was an image of her, and we never had images of her. And so I've done a lot of studying around Mary Magdalene and realizing how close a companion of Christ she was and how much she stood for those values. But she, kind of being a woman, got overlooked and put into a minor position. So I was drawn to painting her. I was actually obsessed by her for a long time. So that particular painting you're talking about was on Artsy, and I got contacted by St. Norbert's College in Wisconsin, of all places, and they were doing a video show or an online show. They called it a commons, an online commons, a virtual commons, and they wanted to show there were ancient religious mothers. They were doing Christianity, and they were doing Hinduism and Judaism. And they wanted to use my Mary Magdalene piece. She had seen it on Artsy.
It's quite an honor.
It's a big honor. I was, very complimented. So it's still up there.
Well, how would you describe your style, the journey?
That's a really good question. I didn't have any formal training as an artist. I have taken adult ed classes. So I've studied with some great teachers. We're very fortunate here in Santa Barbara. We have the best teachers and free classes. So, but my own style has evolved, and people recognize it. I've had people come out and go, I know your work immediately when I walk in. So it comes, my style, I've been told is like German expression. It kind of fits in that school, which I didn't grow up with that. Even in New York, I didn't see that much of that. But, and then I think Van Gogh, and another influence for me is Frida Kahlo.
Oh, of course.
A woman artist who strong colors, vibrant. She presented herself and her woman's story, her body. She suffered. I guess I'm drawn to the people who suffered and used art as a way of expressing. And her body was very damaged in a serious accident. And so she painted that and the pain she was in and how much she suffered. One leg was shorter than the other. And so anyway, I'm very drawn to her too, and her beautiful, she's beautiful, beautiful
She's
woman.
recognized quite a bit in Santa Barbara at all 3 high schools by the art teachers. I still go in to the schools and when they're not able, when they're in their meetings, and then I go in with the students. And so that's, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, she's gotten much more recognition in the last decade or two, yeah. So that's, I would describe my style as a hybrid of all that.
So you're moving in that direction of the artists that you most admire. Are there, did we cover that then as far as the key artists?
Well, those are the major artists, I would say. You know, there are others, obviously. You know, the French Impressionists were wonderful, and they are wonderful. I love that art. So I love art. I love seeing it and taking it in. And then a lot of friends I have, but yeah.
I would love for you to talk about RGB.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite, notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. our woman Supreme Court Justice who died 2 years ago or so. She's from Brooklyn. And she, you know, it came along at a time and age when women were not encouraged at all to become lawyers. And so she went through a lot. Luckily, she married a great guy who supported her and understood her intellect and her smarts. She had a major influence on women's rights, people's rights, and it was, I love the way she did it. It was under the radar. So nobody really knew.
Very dedicated person. I watched the biography of her.
The biography of her,
documentary.
Yeah, and she was brilliant. So I did this portrait and sold it immediately at downtown through Santa Barbara Visual Artists. It was showing with your group, with our group. And it sold to a woman in LA. And then since then, people have requested it. So I've sold many Gogh prints, both on canvas and on paper. Lots of cards with her image on it. People love to give it, especially to female lawyers. So
wonderful.
Thank you.
I want you to go back and talk about the color that you use, and she's got a few prints to show and display.
Color
and the color that bold colors are evident in each of these.
Bold colors. This is a toucan. I was in an art class and we were doing birds, and someone said, found the toucan. And they said to me, oh, that's you. You need to paint that, which I thought was really funny because it's it's so distinctive. You know, it's just, not your pretty little robin. It's like big honking beak and blue feet.
And when people come into the studio and gallery, they're drawn to wherever you're showing. You show at several places in Santa Barbara, but we're very pleased that you're here at Legacy Art Santa Barbara Gallery. We've got 18 artists here, and it's a beautiful exhibition. So you have the one that my favorite was Mary Magdalene, right?
Yes, and I didn't bring her, I'm sorry. We'll bring her, maybe if we're gonna hang more over the show, I'll bring her down because I have her. But I have several of her, but I had that particular one that they asked for. But this is an angel. This is the Christmas angel. I did this last year, and then this sold, and this is a print of her. I like to do angels sometimes. I like to feel close to, the spiritual, and bring that in, Mary Magdalene and different angels. And then I have some smaller prints too. Harriet Tubman, she was another influence on me when I read her story. I grew up, I had a good education. I really did not know the struggle this woman had been through and what she'd done for other people. She's a heroine, unbelievable. So I painted her and I sold that and many prints of her as well.
Well, I think it's important that we do have strong role models to look at, and your art represents the strong women.
Thank you.
In our lives. Is there anything else as far as your journey that where you're going next? What are you thinking?
Oh, thank you. Well, I paint people, but it's abstract. Obviously, it's my version of them. It's not exact. But people get the image. They get kind of, oh yeah, that's RBG. So I'm moving more abstract, taking classes with a wonderful teacher at Adult Ed, and learning to operate more abstractively. I'm very intuitive, so I need to be able to bring my own feelings and intuition to the art. I can't have so much instruction that I get like, if I'm too in my head, it doesn't work for me. I need to be able to access my feelings.
What inspires you?
What inspires me, exactly. And colors inspire me, and people inspire me.
Well, I'm so glad that you took time to be with us. And please stop in at Legacy Art Gallery of Santa Barbara. We are here. We'd love to talk to you about the art that we do. And at every reception, it's Meet the Artist. So please come in and see us.
Thank you. It's been an honor to be here. Thank you.
Would you like to mention any social media handles?
Oh, that's a great idea. You're so good. Thank you.
2, 1.
Yes, and I'm on Facebook, Elizabeth Flanagan. You can find me there. The Flanagan is all A's in it, no I's in my Flanagan. And then I'm on Instagram, Elizabeth Flanagan Art. So again, it's Elizabeth Flanagan, Flanagan, art. And you can find me there. And I post a lot on Instagram about all the shows we're in. Very blessed to be in this community where we're encouraged.
And we've come together as a collective group of artists that we've just grown along the years and really enjoy being together as good friends, but also great artists.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.